Hey, so I'm doing tonight what you and I would be doing if you was over here with me. So I'm making dinner for the kids, and I've been listening to my iPod. It's, I don't know, a lot of you probably remember going, I've been saying, oh, you remember, you remember. Um, you remember Walkmans, and then you'd have to have a whole backpack full of cassette tapes to come with your Walkman so that you had music wherever you was going, whatever you want to listen to. This is such a wonderful invention as far as I'm concerned. I'm not, okay, so the thing is, I always buy my iPod secondhand because there's a lot of these rare metals or whatever, that are kind of toxic to the earth, and the itty bitty people they stick down the holes to go get this stuff. I have no evidence of that. I think I heard something half listening on something where it mentioned this. Also, I don't have any money, so I do really believe in secondhand though, because I think this is the one I have. It doesn't have the other one I had a camera, but I just wore that thing down to nothing. And I really love the camera function on it. And actually, I talked to my uncle Martin about this, it's almost like the democratization. It's what I'm doing right now. It's a democratization of film producing or photograph taking, or and certainly a platform like YouTube, people putting their voices out there. So there's a little disclaimer here too, not just dinner. You get dinner and a disclaimer. The disclaimer is, I don't really know, and my opinions are my opinions, and some of my opinions are based on things I know, and some of my opinions are based on things I feel. And in no way, clearly, I have been so incredibly unsuccessful at adult lifehood that I would not recommend anything. That I am no example, folks. I'm the best bad example you're ever gonna meet. So, and I know how to make pastries, so that's nice. Anyway, so tonight I'm gonna make dinner, and I don't want anyone to freak out about this. Oh, I do want to mention this in the background. This is, and again, it's another one of these Wayback Machine items. I always looked. This used to be one piece, right, of a menu, and you can see it's Chinese food, and this actually came from the Chinese restaurant next door to the Hamburg Inn in Iowa City. I worked at the Hamburg Inn as a dishwasher. I'm trying to remember how that worked. I worked at the Hamburg Inn for a while as a dishwasher, and this Chinese restaurant was next door, and sometimes we would get stuff to eat from there. But I really, see, because the timeline as how I'm remembering this doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because I do believe my first husband, Andy, I'll talk about him in a second, but I do believe he's the one that snatched this out of a reconstruction dumpster. Like, we would call it a Loras bin here, but it's basically one of these really long dumpsters that are put in a parking spot so that you can rehab a place. And the Chinese restaurant that I used to go to after dish dogging at the Hamburg Inn, we were going there. Maybe we were going to Paglia's Pizza, I'm not sure. But anyway, so then many years later, or a few years later, my first husband picked this up for me. And I will say this, I'm going to say this not every time, but every time he comes up. I really was not a good wife to my first husband. I was very ill and not cognizant of that. And so when I would have unhappy or frightening feelings, my husband was the only one there, so I just assumed he was causing it. I was absolutely, and I don't know, he's an artist, and I really wish I'd offered him more respect. Now, granted, I'm glad I got these babies, and I love my other husband, because I like to tell people I'm not bigamous, because that way I won't get any more offers. I've had too many. Oh my lord. A gal with a face like this. You remember that old song, "Happy for the rest of your life"? Get an ugly girl for your wife. Man, I profited well on the back end of that song because I had some beautiful, beautiful people I spent time with. So, my first husband, gosh, I wish I could take back every salty word I ever said to him. And so there's that. And came from that Chinese restaurant next to Hamburg Inn, although I'm not sure what street that was on. Okay, so Dubuque is the one that runs in front of the library, and then there used to be a cut-through at Van Allen Hall. So it must have been Dubuque Street, because I think Dubuque Street, there was the cut-through at Van Allen, there was the church on the corner, and then, what the hell was on that corner, I wonder? Anyway, Hamburg Inn was on that street, Chinese restaurant. And so, like I said, I'm making dinner. I actually got in the middle of doing a whole whack of laundry, because like I said, I have a real, although like the upside, okay, so here's a way of thinking of things that is different in my life now. And I'll talk about that in the mental health one, which I haven't, I've been working on it, okay? Because the other thing is, like, when I make these videos, I feel so compelled to publish them immediately. Like, I shouldn't sit on this, I'm going to get it on there. And so that's kind of interesting. So maybe I'll sit on this one to practice sitting on one. I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyway, I really hate doing the laundry. I really hate laundry. Like, girl, hate her some laundry. And I've gone from having, like, believe me, I've done every dumb thing about laundry you can imagine. Like, piles and piles of dirty clothes, washing everything at once, never-ending sessions at the laundromat. Like, I've done it all, baby. I've done it all. Little babies, because babies, oh my lord. Little babies, they got more clothes than I ever saw in a lifetime. And then this terrible miracle happened, which was fucking bed bugs, man. I've been to the bed bug wars. I survived, and I've come back. And here's what I did on the third go. On the third go around on bed bugs, when I was living in this apartment building with a dude downstairs, the dude downstairs in the basement, him and his old lady, because I lived on RN 22nd, which is right by PN 22nd. I've mentioned that as the murder intersection of Saskatoon, and sometimes of Saskatchewan as a whole, because per capita, it's usually between us and either Regina or North Battleford for violent murders, crimes of that nature, right? Like, we tend to be the murder capital of Saskatchewan, if those other two cities are not. So anyway, so I lived there, and the downstairs, very basement neighbors, and they took down. They were drug addicts. They weren't unpleasant. They were a couple. They loved each other, okay? But when the wife died, this dude fucking went off the rails, okay? And he started hoarding up in his apartment. I didn't know this. I didn't know he was hoarding in his apartment. So I got rid of every upholstered piece of furniture I had out of the living room. And I had two toddlers just playing on the floor. I told the landlord, I'm ripping up the carpets, man. And I ripped up all the carpets in the bedroom and put cardboard down that I could change out because I couldn't sorry about the swears. Because I couldn't stand, because when you have little kids like that and they get bit by bugs, I'm telling you, you don't get a good night's sleep. And then, like, in the middle of the summer, okay, I was fighting bed bugs, cockroaches, houseflies, fruit flies, and, just anything else, mosquitoes, spiders. And it was a concrete building. But anyway, like I said, this dude was hoarding in the basement, like, no matter what I did. And so then I started throwing everything out. Like, I threw my couch out. We sat on the floor. Everything, like anything that was wood other than a particular desk, threw it all out. threw out all my records as a teacher because they like to live in the paper. And then, ooh, and then I whittled us down because a lot of times, and I don't know if other people do this too, but you'll have almost 2 laundry baskets full of clothes that you never, ever, 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 ever wear, but you keep it just in case, right? Okay, well, I have 2 tiers of that. I have like the one tier of clothes I never, ever, ever wear, but it's like my funeral pants, my funeral, like that kind of stuff. And so through these, like I said, Bedbug World War I, Bedbug World War II, Bedbug World War III, I was done. So I whittled this all down to like a week and a half of sensible clothing, okay? And if you're not wearing it, and you're not keeping it, get rid of it. And so now, what do you mean by keeping it? Well, like I said, my funeral clothes, my couple of slacks that I can wear in a professional circumstance if I end up there, like I volunteered at my kids' school. Minimal, no organic blankets. I'm sorry. I used to be a quilter. Quit doing that. And then I whittled this down to like a week and a half worth of clothes. Because the fact of the matter is, and I'm going to talk about this maybe in a different time or place, but I don't pay a lot for clothes. And you probably can tell, right? But also I don't really care about it. I mean, there's some stuff, I don't know. How I dress is a long story. I'm not going to get into all that. But the miracle was this. I had washed every single thing in my house 3 times. And I decided if I don't want to watch this thing again in the next 2 weeks, I don't need to keep it. And I threw all of that extra stuff out. It was difficult to do because, to some degree, like, I got this pretty cloth, and I have plans to live a life where it's going to be a tablecloth, and I'm going to have friends over. And it's like, that's a really nice thought. You might as well enjoy it. However, and again, with the, needing to see a psychiatrist as I do, it can then later when you see that item that you haven't used and you haven't made use of and you've just held on to it and you haven't done nothing, it becomes a mark or like a count of failure inside, and you gotta just jump past that. I'm not saying I'm a hoarder, but I am saying that I used to keep a lot of stuff, and now if I can't see the back of the closet, then it's time to purge, In any case, so we're making dinner tonight, and and this was the thing I was worried about, is, like, I'm a poor person, everybody. I'm poor, but there's a lot of privileges to that, and a lot of stuff, a lot of facade I don't have to operate with. But so, like, this is one of these nights where I don't have anything specific in my mind that I want to make, and I still have 2 children I have to feed, which is, how that is. So anyway, they really like tortellini, and this is some leftover, but that's not enough for both of them. So I'm also going to make rice, and I've got some, this is the wonderful thing about living in I live in a Muslim neighborhood, predominantly. Or, like, a lot of people in Southeast Asia, a lot of people in Asia are Muslim. So, this lady got this big packet of sausages, but because she comes over, knock, 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 gives me this sausage stuff, and she actually brought me some fish sometime, and it was just very nice. I really enjoy my neighbors. It's a wonderful place. I know other people feel very differently about this, and I don't. As much as I don't understand them, I'm quite certain they don't understand me. But I like living around people who are different. You know what I mean? Like, you look different, you sound different. I'm not afraid of foreign languages. That doesn't bother me. Okay. I'm dumb all day in English, so if somebody's talking something else, at least I got a good reason to look that way, right? And I don't know, I just find people of the world are very, very beautiful. So I'm going to cook these sausages I'm just going to boil them, because what the hell. They might not even eat them, but I like to put a meat out. We never ate a lot of meat when I was a kid, and so I don't see that as a primary You know, like I don't worry that there's not meat. There's a lot of other things you can eat that are just as delicious. And I think meat should be a side dish. Although, if you've got any moose, bring it over. We'll cook it up barbecue style on top of the stove. And we can eat it right off of the stove. It's really, moose is the most, I would eat moose all day and night. I really would. Caribou, I ate caribou when I lived up north. And first time you eat caribou, you're going to have, like, well, I'm just saying you will remember that first poo after your caribou. But it's really delicious meat, and, like, if you get somebody who can make really good dry meat, if you have a friend who can make good dry meat, then you're in business. Because the dry meat I like the best. You could, well, some people put it with shortening. I like to eat it with butter. So, and now my child's coming in. She's going to be quiet. What?
What time is it?
I don't know. Oh, don't let the cat out.
Oh.
10 to 6, and I want you in a little bit. I'm starting dinner right now.
Okay.
And I'm videotaping it, so thanks and good night. Anyway, that's I would love to introduce you to the children, but I'm not really sure what I think about that. I mean, it's not like there's that many people watching. And I suppose it's, whatever. It's because my son said to me today, because as an older person, there's a lot I don't know. But my son said to me today, you can make money on a YouTube channel. And I was like, really? But that's actually, and what I said to him was, that's not the point right now. Maybe this, well, see, I don't want that to be the point. It's not the point. The point is something else, although, anyway. So, peppers, carrots. I don't have enough tortellini, so I'm going to make this. And sorry. I spend it up on the rice. Okay, now, like I said, I'm lucky. I live in a town that's very multicultural. And so you can get, good rice. And this is basmati. I love it. And I spend it up on that because it is very hearty. And the kids like it. So I'm going to put that with this. After the tortellini. And then I often do crudité, just because, and that's fresh cut fruit and veg, because the vitamins are in there, and I'm lazy. No, but why have 6 pans on the stove cooking up vegetables when that's not all you're doing. That's whatever. But you know what I'm saying? You might as well serve them this way. When they were babies, I would go down to the, the overripe section. You get half off for the fruits and veg. And that's really good for when they were little babies because it's already, self-processed, as it were. And I'm a cheapskate, so. Okay, so I want the little red pan. Hold on. I never keep rice for very long because I think it goes bad. I don't know if that's any better. Ooh, trying to check out the light. Girl, you're looking good. So I am wearing little kitty cat ears, but I want you to, well, I don't know if it matters if you know or not, but again, this is one of these luxury items of being mentally ill. Is that if I want to wear kitty cat ears around all day long, I sure can. And I don't know, it's funny because what might inhibit one from wearing little kitty cat ears? I also have a halo, and I have a little one with a couple birds on it and some, grass coming off of it. I was very inspired by Meghan Markle, if you can believe it, because she and the, what's that other girl's name? Whatever. Princess Kate, I think is her name. I can't think of... Kate Middleton, there you go. They were both wearing these little tiny hats called fascinators for a while. And I was like, well, hot diggity dog. If they can wear fascinators, I can make up a couple fascinators for myself. And so I have a couple fascinators that resemble more like hats. But then I also started wearing, you know, these little things that you can find in the store. And people are really, really nice about it. Like, they have a good laugh, and I know that's not for everybody. It wasn't always for me, but I do enjoy that. I do enjoy doing that. So, and then I blanket myself with "I'm crazy" as an alibi for why I'm doing it. And I'm looking right now for measuring cups. I always put some stuff away in a different place every single time. Okay, where's my rice? Okay, this is kind of boring, but just bear with me. So I put some music on one of these videos, and then I got a copyright warning. So I don't know if that means I can't do background musics anymore, or I'm not sure. So we'll see. So I'm gonna make a little bit extra rice. Oh, I went out again. Hold on. I'm still here, baby. Don't go. I guess it's like every 10 minutes, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do to make that not happen. So, you know what I mean? You're just going to have to love me through it. That's all I can say. So, salt. I do appreciate, I don't know. It's silly to say, but I appreciate your company. I appreciate this avenue of personal expression. I said before, and this is true, we'll get into truth later, but okay. I said before that I'm very isolated, and I am very isolated. And I used to be, or the way I remember myself, I guess I should say, is that I enjoyed going out and being with people, and so I've been in the house for like 10 or 12 years because I had kids, and I said I talked to you about my husband in a different video, but that won't be this video. Suffice it to say, we loved one another very much. And we still do. I still love him very much. Anyway, but like a diabetic pregnancy is not easy, right? And we lived in the hood, and I and I still do. We're hood adjacent, and I actually think people in the hood are better neighbors than people in the suburbs, quite frankly. Because, like, I still... I'm well blessed with sort of these intimate, casual relationships with people who lived when we were over on R and 22nd. Now we're over here, and I gotta figure out, we're not on W, but we're further down than W. And 17th, just about. I did not give you the exact address, but email me if you want it. Anyway, very isolated, and so I appreciate this avenue of self-expression. If it's only just, if only 13 people look at it, or not even, I'm not sure if that's the point either. Like, I don't know. Part of being alone, what's difficult about being alone is that, I want someone to love me, yeah. But I also want to share myself with somebody else, And, so it's married a long time, and then we had these, we were married for a little bit, and then we had these complicated pregnancies over a couple of years. And then, for assorted reasons, my, aspect or my perspective or my world became very, very small between my husband and my children. Although my children have always, this is one of the great things about having kids, is, these are people I never knew before. I never met these people before. What? Here's one of them right now. No, don't get on here, because I don't want to say there's a kid in the video.
Wow. Okay.
You can say hello.
Hello.
You can put your hand in there. There's her little hand. And actually, it's not. Put your fingers out. Come on. It's a big old hand. Like, she got long fingers. She didn't get those from me, these little stubby mugs. But anyway, like, the thing about having kids is these are people you didn't know before. Oh!
What's wrong?
Nothing. I gotta plug this in, maybe. But anyway, you meet these kids that you made, but you ain't never met before, right? You haven't met these children. They're brand new people. And then they have sort of interests that would not be interests that, you might personally, interests that you might not come across on your own. Okay? But then the kid is digging it. Sorry, I'm trying to plug this in. The kid digs it, you dig it because the kid's digging it, and now you got this whole other perspective on whatever activity or interest or whatever it is. Like, I would never have looked at that, but my kid's looking at it, and I have access to enjoying it because my kid likes it. And to me, that's, I don't know, that's one of the things that's nice about being, well, it's the part of being a family, right, and part of being a parent. Hold on, I've got hot dog. I got sausages on the run back here. Yeah, my neighbor gave me those. That was really sweet. She came over one night, like, oh, I don't know if did I tell this to you, or I told her, maybe I told it to, when I say Lloyd, that's my husband. I might have told it to Lloyd, but sometimes around here we find knives outside, and he does this too in where he's living. And so if I see a knife, I just pick it up and take it home. Because I know at my house, nobody's going to get stabbed with it, right? And so I found this fish knife that was like super sharp. Hold on, I'm going to see if it's right here. Oh, here it is. I got this fish knife. Super sharp. Like you could really hurt somebody, but not even intending to with that. And it was outside with a bunch of fish hooks and a broken open tackle box. And so I grabbed it up and I was like, ooh, I might actually have occasion to use that. You know what I mean? Nope. For a long time, no. And then one night, I was just up late. My neighbor knock on the door. And she brought me these ungutted fish. Like there was like 4 of them or whatever. Swing! I was ready to go with my knife that I found. So that really pleased me that those two things came together. But, so yeah, I don't know if you live in the kind of neighborhood I do or whatever kind of neighborhood. But if you see a knife outside, just pick it up because, dumb kids do dumb things and most kids are, well, when I think about the stuff that I did, like, because I know my mom doesn't have YouTube right now, but, like, we used to go hang out on a railroad trestle in the woods, and just, and like, when I think of, I just do my best to not think about it. Like, either I'm going to trust myself that I taught these kids how to pay attention, or I didn't. I'm not just going to turn them loose like some dogs at 18 and just be like, good luck in the world. They're going to have to, well, let me say, I know how to screw up and come back from screwing up so you can do it again. So I'll be able to guide my kids through that stuff. I told them I can't get you out of trouble. I can get you through trouble, but I will never ever have any kind of money to get you out of trouble. I think we might have a dying computer again. Well, let's see. I don't know if it's dying so much as, like I said, this 10-minute thing. And so that sort of cautions me about what I'm doing. So anyway, I am going to wind this up because what else was I going to talk about? Making dinner. So yeah, so dinner's going to be fresh cut carrot and red pepper. And red pepper, if you just, you breathe out while you eat the red pepper. And I said to Sarah, I go, oh, it's like if dirt was candy. This is what it would taste like. And it really is quite delicious. So I recommend that. I'm going to do the tortellini, so there's not much of it. I'm going to cut it with the rice, put it on 2 different sides of a bowl. See, I haven't really taught my children how to eat off of at a dining room table because we haven't done that, so I feel badly. And I would love to hear from anybody else from my generation. Like, and it's not a moral thing. It's a because okay, so I did struggle with it being a moral thing about eating at the dinner table, but my house is a factory for raising kids and for living, not for like there are not servants here, even though I do a lot of work that might be classified that way, but I'm not a servant. And what suits the kids and what's accommodatable to what we're doing is the appropriate thing. So I struggled with not eating at the dinner table and having that be a moral shortcoming. But people of my generation, so I was born in 73, so, whatever. Take your pick if you think you're in my generation. Because I don't know, is it 10 years or 7? But in any case, are you eating dinner at the table with the kids? And I'm talking about when did you start? How did you do it? We do it sometimes because we do like to say grace over, like we like to say grace in that context. So we do that some of the time. If you do eat at the dinner table, how'd that work? And if you don't, how did you come to that choice about not eating dinner at the dinner table? It's weird because I used to be a real hard ass, like when I was a teenager and stuff. I really have a hard time enforcing any single rule. Even the ones that I like, I really have a hard time enforcing them. So, God bless it all. In any case, what am I going to say? You just know. I love you so much. I love you, I love you, I love you. And it's going to be a great night sleeping tonight, or a great day doing whatever you're doing today. Try to get some sunshine directly, not sitting in a window at a computer, but real live sunshine. So, I love you. I love you. You're wonderful. Have a great night. Or day, whatever. Anyway, see y'all later.